What up? So I didn't create a video on Thursday or Friday. Thursday I got home and then went out for Courtney's birthday. And then Friday I should have actually posted a video. Next time we do game night, I'm gonna post a video, or I mean record a video, just so like I can remember like each game night and things like that. And if this ever gets posted, other people can see it and like, oh man, that's cool. Like that's what's going on at Galvanize. Um, Also, yeah, repping the shirt. Um, so let's see. Thursday, oh, glob. Thursday we covered functions and for loops, and we also talked about the DOM, which was basically document object model, which allows you to manipulate the HTML using your JSS, your JavaScript, and it also allows you to manipulate the CS. So basically, it creates all one place to be able to access and manipulate with JavaScript. And it's what allows you to be able to put text on a page. Like you can edit. The benefit of it is that you can do these things like live. So I can make and update changes, and I'll have to save them, send them to a server, and see them come back up. The server pushed them back up to the web page. You can do it as it's happening. You can change literally everything. The only limit I feel what I can do at this point is what I know, and I need to get better at learning how to research things and just set off and go do it. One thing that I am proud, okay, and then also on Friday, we had a scrimmage, which was really cool. We basically created this pixel art thing. Essentially, we created Microsoft Paint. I mean, in its bare bones form, you clicked on a box, you clicked on another box, and it accepted the initial color that you clicked on. It's awesome. I got it working. A few things that I want to like recap for myself. The first one is polyas method is the way, God, it's chin. Let me just say it like this. That's better. Polyas method is so good for me. And if this gets out there and people want to know about it, basically, it's a way of breaking down a problem before you solve it. So for me, I have a tendency to just see something like just being in the army or just like being me throughout life. I have a very reactive personality as far as just like an attitude or like getting work done or anything like that. Like I can definitely move and fix things on the fly. I mean, you have to be able to think on your feet and act on your feet if you're going to survive. I mean, in any type of real combat environment. So with that being said, I'm used to just like throwing answers out there or, talking really fast or, trying to communicate my ideas. And that often can end up pretty poorly. I'll say things too fast, or whatever it is, without actually thinking about anything. So the first step that I do is I think about the problem and how I'm going to solve it. Like what is it asking? And so what I did on Friday was I wrote everything out. I was like, look, this is how I'm going to set up my CSS page, and this is how I'm going to set up my HTML page, and this is what I want. And in each side, I want this. And then from there, I could set up the JavaScript page. And the JavaScript stuff is difficult because I don't know a lot of the actions that you can do. But what I do know is I know like the logic steps involved. So, for example, I know that I have to click on a box and it has to accept the color. So I have to create a variable that is going to, first of all, listen for me to click. Second of all, I have to create another variable that's going to grab the color of that element. And third of all, I have to store that color somewhere so it can be used later. I also have to create a function where when I click on a box, it accepts that color, aka that variable. So that was really, like what I was trying to do. And I wrote it down, and I knew how many variables I needed, and that was it was good. The issue that I found was that I didn't really know all the JavaScript stuff. I need to, I have to just start grinding on this JavaScript stuff. I like tonight I'm going to sit here and do some JavaScript practice just to start writing things out. Like I can't just take this stuff for granted. I got through the lesson on Friday, but I mean, I got helped out. And also that's another thing I want to point out. I really need to make sure that I just work through everything that I can and every avenue that I can before asking somebody else for help. Because if I keep doing that, I'm not going to learn how to fix things myself. I'll start relying on the teachers, or I'll start relying on other students, and that's not what I want to do, especially when I know I'm right there. Like I'm so close. It's just so easy to be like, yo, this person has it. And then be like, oh yeah, I get it. But I mean, do you get it? Do you really get it? If you didn't get there by yourself. And if you do, then fine. But you need to make sure you can replicate that. And you need to make sure you understand. And so that's one of the other things I want to start doing is I want to make sure at the end of each class that I am now taking time to be like, yo, dog, here's what we learned. Do it again. Like that's a growing pain. I wish I would have thought of that day one. I'm 2 weeks in, but that's a practice I will now start. I think that I'm going to start spending at the end of class, instead of jumping into something else, I want to review exactly what we did that day. No matter where I am, no matter what's going on, I need to do it either after we get done with class, take a break and do it, or do it when I get home. It's one of the two. And then I can do other homework stuff in between then. But that way it's fresh. I don't know. I'm proud. Like it's cool. Like it's cool to see everything coming together. I think an issue that a lot of people are running into and I have tagged in the back of my head is that, you know, there are some people who just like throw it down and just can get the problem and start running with it. And like, I have to remember that I'm not them. They're not necessarily better than me. I mean, they definitely, their stuff was different than mine. And there were some people whose project was better than mine, but I have to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to make myself successful. And it's easy to consistently compare yourself to other people, but you don't get any better that way. You know, on top of that, I feel like it's really easy to get down on yourself. I took a second on Friday and I kind of I forgot what it was that I was doing, but I had a moment where about a week ago, I would have had to look something up and I just typed it out. I was like, oh, holy shit. I knew that without anything. And that's not something that a week ago that I knew. And now it came second nature to me. So I also want to like remind myself to, you know, like appreciate where you've come from. It's super easy and super frustrating when every day is something new and challenging to forget about the day before. When you mastered it or at least started to master it or whatever it was, you forget about, shit, I didn't know how to create an HTML page on Tuesday. And now I know how to manipulate an HTML page. But you're so focused on not knowing how to do a certain thing that you forgot that you actually figured out how to do that thing in the beginning, you know? So that can kind of just be transferred to life, I feel. Can't compare yourself to other people's successes or how they're living their life or how they're running things. And you have to appreciate where you are and where you've come from. You know, if you're constantly banging your head against the wall, being like, I can't figure this out, or I can't do this, or everyone's so much better off than me, you're never going to be happy. You have to appreciate what you have. And I feel the best way to do that is to look back and be like, well, where was I yesterday? Well, yesterday I was like, you know, yesterday I was struggling to get out of bed. You know, yesterday, like I didn't want to get out of bed. And then you got out of bed, and then you went to school or you went to work. And, you know, maybe you didn't want to be there. Maybe you were depressed all day, but you made it through the day. You know, and maybe tomorrow is a fight for you. Maybe it's the same fight for you, but in that next day, you should look back and be like, yo, I made it out of bed. Sure, I might be sucking right now, but I definitely did that yesterday. And that's the mentality that I kind of want to keep. I also just keep grinding. Just keep grinding. Like I thought that I knew this Dom stuff, and so I didn't really look at it. I focused on something else, and this shit needs repetition. I can't just take any of this for granted. That shit's going to come later. All of these skills will line up. I guarantee it. So just be patient, James. Be patient. Don't jump ahead. Trust the process, and things are going to roll out. I'm excited. I know that I'm going to put in the work and the time. And now I'm just kind of like laying everything out and learning as I go. And it's nice to have this as a guide. I hopefully will be able to impart this knowledge onto Cody when he goes through. Tonight, I'm going out to Cowboy Lounge to meet Courtney. We are officially dating. That's pretty fucking exciting. I don't know, something about this girl that, like, I'm used to not, like, I don't know. I'll say this for another journal. Because this is running at that 10-minute mark, and I'm trying to keep these things at 10 minutes. So I will talk to you later.